key for you guys?
Huh?
The camera's right there.
Oh, okay. So we'll look at each other and the camera in the third way, right?
Things to see, people to do.
Oh. Period. Whatever. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers. People to see, things to do. Wait.
Things to see, people to do. You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I know you do.
Yeah, I like to drink it, yeah. You're so much better. You're so much better.
Shut up. I'm better when I'm not drinking, too.
Right, she's cool.
Right, I'm not even, this is...
We didn't drink that much already.
Oh, she had a baby shot.
A baby shot. That did nothing to me.
We can go. I got...
We need to get this show on the road. Come on, that's where we need to be going.
I'm doing him a favor.
Let's go. Come on.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing out there tonight? Yeah, I feel like this is the tale of the besties. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Besties and besties.
Yo.
Is he your bestie now?
I don't know. The verdict's still out on that.
So,
Ajana.
Okay, before I was drinking.
Now you're good.
Ajana, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got the boy Devin. These people are taking on a 717 hard body.
Yeah.
You know, trying to bring a lot of positivity. So I only felt right to bring out the queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard bits and pieces of your story from prior conversation. So I had to bug somebody. A lot. I had to call her like 30 phone calls. Like, yo, you're going to do this. So I brought in the lovely, the beautiful, the Scorpio queen herself, Zuma.
Good to be back. Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Thank you for having us here.
The up and coming.
The up and coming.
The up and coming. Y'all be on the lookout for them. They are amazing. So they'll tell you more about who they are in a few minutes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break the game down.
There you go. Go.
Well, I'm Devin. I'm his best friend. can watch our episode, and it tells us her story, how we met, and how what we want to do, our goals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, basically what we want to do, we're just trying to bring positivity to the community. There's so much hate in our cities, man. Like, people need to get together and collab. And there's so many people in our city with talent and potential, but they're always...
competition.
Yeah, like, support each other, man. You know, businesses, small black businesses. At restaurants, like music, yeah, like whatever.
Even just women to women.
Yeah.
Black to black.
Yeah.
LGBTQ support. Like,
yes,
right.
all that. Yes.
Right.
You're going to best friend?
that's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It still counts.
But yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Well, I feel very honored to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel like I got the younger generation with the...
Use your words wisely. Use it wisely.
Uh-oh.
I've been drinking.
With the with the wisdom.
With the wisdom, the game,
The wisdom.
the game. Yo, she was once in your shoes, and
Yeah.
yeah, she's I was like, when I first met you, when we had the little talk, I called her right away.
Yeah.
I said, yo, man. I said, you remember one of the first things I asked you, what would you tell your 17-year-old self? And she's like, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, yo, I met a 26-year-old. You know what I mean? And she's just a ray of sunshine, so to speak. You know what I mean? Got a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when she was explaining to me her goals and dreams and aspirations, she was the first person I thought of. So, like, you know, I'm not one to tell somebody's story, so I'm going to let you break yourself down a little bit more in detail.
Okay.
And then, you know, I'm going to let, you know, can we let the ladies take over before we're the kings. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this, bro. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, basically, you know, because I'm going to go in a little bit more detail on our talk show about what I've been through in my life. So I won't go into too much detail, but I've been, let's go back. At 8 years old, my mom was murdered in front of me and my sister. So I've been through a lot of things in life, from going to different family members' houses, growing up. I've been through sexual abuse. I've been through a lot of trauma. Family members. My uncle, who was like a dad to me, committed suicide. I also found him very traumatic. I've been just through a lot of hardships in life and things that should have held me back, you know. I'm a single mom with 3 kids. I had my kids back to back, 18, 19, 21. They're all a year apart. So I am a single mom. I don't, you know, have a lot of help, especially for my oldest 2 kids from their dad. So I'm doing this on my own, you know. And I have a lot of goals and aspirations that I want in life, but it's like I have 3 little kids, you know what I mean? So it's hard for, I want to be an actress. Sending the applications, got accepted to a couple good schools, and it's like, how am I gonna go there? I got these 3 babies that I gotta take care of, you know. So I'm like, how can I reach my goals to be an actress without having to, you know, go to school and leave my kids? And you know, me and my best friend were like, we're funny, we're cool, like, you know what I mean? Let's start a talk show and help other people with their traumas. We helped each other a lot with our traumas, and basically our whole goal isn't just for us. Like, once we started doing this, we really started like communicating with the community, and we met a lot of great people, and the networking's fun, and you know, it's fun. Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, me? No. So we connected in our traumas as well.
How long have you guys been best friends? Or known each other?
We've been best friends for about maybe like a year.
Okay.
So we know each other for 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One month.
May, June. Yeah, May. I say June. He says May.
Yeah, last year it was amazing. I had a lot of best friends before because people just think they could just walk all over me and stuff like that, but she never showed me that kind of like.
Yeah.
She showed me a different friendship.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, I've never experienced that before.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference when people can see you for who you are,
Right.
despite of, right? And I think that that's even like what kind of connected Frank and I too.
She never doubts me. She pushes me to go forward, and I do the same for her. And You become a little good unit.
Yeah, we're like even a little family. Really, like he helps me a lot with my kids. You know, I can't be more grateful for my best friend, honestly.
I'm excited for y'all show, and I'm excited to see you guys, like, literally just flourish, right, within the community.
Yeah.
And just really see, to be able to connect, right, and be connected to you, and to even, like, however we can, like, help, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Not until far is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And we believe in God a lot, and you know, He's been helping us, like,
Girl, yes.
Yeah.
Without God,
right.
none of us would be here.
Yeah, it's like 160 plus subscribers in 4 weeks. You know what I mean? I know people who had, I mean, it's not a lot, but it is really a lot. 160 some people are supporting us and see us going somewhere, and we got a lot of positive feedback, you know?
Yeah, a lot of support, a lot of, like, people just, we believe in you,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And and you don't realize too, like, even though people might not be telling you, right, or really speaking, people are watching, and you're inspiring others, right? Like even like people in our generation, right, the older generation, like I see your generation, I'm just like, I love y'all, right, because you guys, despite of all that y'all been through, like, you guys, like, surpass that and just really go for it and push through it, right? Like, y'all like some bulldogs, like some rams, you know what I mean? Just, like, really just push through those things. And I speak as a generation as a whole, right? Like, you don't let society, like, you know what I mean? You guys, like, really truly stand up. And I can speak for myself, like, we have been so conditioned, like, you shut up, you speak when you're spoken to, right? And you gotta listen, or you know what I mean? Like you sit down and you don't respond back to adults. And I'm not saying you talk back to adults, right? Because there has to be respect within that. But you guys also have allowed yourself to create those boundaries, right, with people. And I'm just saying, as a generation as a whole, right? I'm not saying that you have not been through your stuff and that you're not going through your challenges and you don't face, you know what I mean? Even to create those boundaries, that it's not easy. Yeah. But at the same time, you're still pushing through that, right? Yeah. Which is amazing. So.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah.
You know, if I was to say something, I would say, yo, I'm a fan of y'all energy, yo.
That too.
Yo,
That too.
Thank you. Everybody says that.
Yo, I'm a fan of your energy. You know, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know you didn't have. I didn't know you had social media, because you know you're more than welcome to send a friend request and everything. But, like, you know, ever since I met your bestie, you know what I mean. And it's only right that you mind, you know, even though she, you know what I mean.
You know.
Frank, you're walking on thin ice.
No shade. What's wrong with you?
What are you drinking, guys?
Yeah, man. That's best friend rule number one.
Right, you don't throw no shade. Right.
Frank, this is why she didn't want to be your best
Listen,
friend.
you gotta have a thing or two.
Yeah, I have a good best friend.
Yeah, you do, and
Thank you.
you know the first thing she said when she told me about a YouTube channel? She says, I don't do a show without my bestie.
Period.
I was like, yo.
And I would expect him to say the same thing to me. Like, you gonna come on my show? Why would I come on your show by myself? Like, what? Nah. I'll go without him and you'll go without me.
That's good. That's so dope. Y'all shine together.
Oh, could make me cry. Oh man. Alright, enough emotional.
Alright, what we gonna talk about today?
Yes.
We gotta get this rolling.
Okay. You know, I kind of felt like this was like your thing today, because like I look at her and I see a younger version of you. You know what I mean? Somebody that has some experience, some trauma, and you know, how you manifest it is 100%. Like I said, you know, you took me out of a dark place. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm a firm believer that anything's possible. You know what I mean? Like, yo, anything's 100% possible. So I was like, yo, let me reach out to Zuma. You know, a woman that overcame her traumas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her boundaries, and became and
still overcoming.
and became an inspiration to, not just to me.
Yeah.
Like when I met her and I was talking to her, she was inspiring like 30 females at one time, and it was like, I was like, wow, you know, and like I
love that.
Yeah. But like,
I love that.
You know, then I had to learn like to be a friend back, to be like, yo, man, you telling me to love myself 5 times a day, to say I love you to me 5 times a day. Yo, have you been saying that to you? You know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I remember the days where, you know, I was in the fire truck, you know what I'm saying? And I was sending videos saying, yo, thank you for just believing in me. And, you know, so like, you know, and not that y'all don't need belief, but like, I felt like the goal of this show right now, to show you proof, you know what I mean? Because like, I was a broke nigga, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that was. Yo, what are you doing? Are you about to do something stupid? Are you about to, you know what I mean? And she stayed on me consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just being a friend, not asking for nothing in return. And it's just like, hey, yo, how you been? How you doing? You know what I mean? Even we never had an argument.
We never had an argument. We never had an argument, but we had our little disagreements, things that we didn't really see eye to eye. But we accepted each other through those, right? Like I got to know who Frank was, right, and he got to know me. So through that, I'm like, okay, like, you're just being you. And I would check him. Like, you know, if I needed to check him, I would check him, right? Like, and vice versa. He doesn't check me that much.
That's important.
You know, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, no, we've definitely have grown to care and love about each other. And I would know when he had, like, when he was off or he was just, you know, just kind of
just like us.
out there. But, I mean, one of the things that, you know, I can say, you know, to you as a young lady and you as a young man, don't give up dreaming.
Yeah.
As we spoke about right before the show started, our words are powerful.
Yeah.
Right? And speaking you gotta serve a man, you gotta do this, you gotta, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? I know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? To a certain degree, but, you know, there's just so many aspects to that, right?
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be a lady. You can't just, you know, if you dress provocative, you know, that means you wanna, you know what I mean, you're attracting man, and you're gonna, you know, tell them that you wanna have sex, or no, like, why does it have to be that? Why can't I just wear a see-through shirt because I feel sexy and I wanna be sexy? That doesn't mean I wanna be fucked tonight. No, it doesn't mean that, right?
Yeah.
It just means that I just wanna look nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's just so many things that we've been conditioned to that is very frustrating as a woman. But getting outside that mindset and living in your purpose and living in who you are and being who you are. So that's what I would tell my 26-year-old self.
Yeah.
Don't allow others to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the haters, people are gonna hate. You're always gonna have haters.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have somebody talking about you.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, you're always gonna have somebody saying something about you. So at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. Be about you and your babies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And your best friend, right? Because I know he's actively involved in your life.
Yeah.
But you are your number one priority. And with that, like, making sure you take time for you. Making sure that you take that half an hour, whether it's to work out, whether it's to meditate, whether it's to read, whether it's whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're taking time for you, because if you are not good, you're not going to be good for nobody else.
Yeah,
right?
Great.
So at the end of the day, like, making sure that you are your priority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even, you know what I mean, if you have a man in your life, don't know, once you get a man in your life, like, understanding, you know, and letting him know, like, listen, like, I am my own priority, right? My daughter is me, but because I can't be good for you if I'm not good.
Yeah. And that's the problem. A lot of people think that, you know what I mean? Like, they think that they can just go into a relationship any type of way. If you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? Sorry, I want to go back and, like, think what I was going to say.
No, go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, how, if you don't love you, how can you possibly love somebody else? If you don't know who you are as a person, what you want, your goals and your ambition, and how can you love somebody else? You don't even know what you want in life. So you're so dependent on this person coming into your life. And that was my problem for a long time. You know?
And once again, we're so conditioned to be dependent on other people.
Yes. Right. Why can't you just love you?
But I want to say, maybe we was dependent on the wrong people. There's nothing wrong.
Dependent on the wrong people?
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
But that's what she's saying. We shouldn't be dependent on nobody else.
Yes.
But ourselves.
Right.
Happiness starts within. Like, some people say, are you going to make me happy? You know what I mean? Or, no, like, happiness starts within us.
Right.
It should start in
How
here.
can I make you happy if I'm not happy?
Right. Like, I cannot be dependent on, I can't be dependent on somebody else. Now, you can add to that. You can,
Yes.
you can add to that happiness, right?
Yes.
You can walk alongside of me, right? And we can do things to, like, you know what I mean, along this journey to push each other and motivate each other. But happiness should come from within myself.
Yes.
Okay.
I know you don't agree. Come on.
And he never agreed.
No.
Bring it.
Because, like, you know, I'm a firm believer of, you know, like, because look at us. When we met, you know what I mean? I wasn't in a happy place. I was scared to even speak to you. You know what I mean?
But you're in a happy place now, though.
Yes.
You had to find who Frank Brown was.
Right.
Yes.
And you're finding out who he is.
Right.
And you're setting those boundaries within yourself and within people that you're connected with. Even the women that you deal with or not deal with, right?
Okay.
You've set those boundaries because you're understanding who you are and what is it that you want and what makes you happy. Once again, it's boiling down to, it starts with you.
Yeah.
Okay. But, like, it's not about happiness for me. You remember? I just remember the first shot. I said, "Yo, it's not." I'm gonna be honest. You know, I don't know.
So you're telling me you're not happy right now?
I'm saying I would be doing the same things whether I was happy or not.
You were saying you would do the same things if you were in a relationship or not, or happy or not.
I'm saying when the times I was in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I was committed to the responsibility of the relationship. You know what I mean? So it wasn't about, you know what I mean? Hey, is it happy? No, it's like, hey, this is a responsibility.
So you're just going with emotions because you felt like you had to?
Because it's my job if I'm in a
right,
relationship.
that's not good. That's not good at all. I just gotta go with this because, but where's your happiness come into play?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like
right?
You know, the happiest times in this house, right, was seeing other people happy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's nice. He was like you. That's what I like my best friend.
See, like, so you feel like, so the happiest times I ever had in this house was not, and like I had a lot of people cater to me in this house. You know what I mean? But the happiest times I in this house was to watch other people happy.
Well, I learned recently you can't base your happiness off of someone else's happiness because it just makes you feel worse. It makes that hole bigger because you can't feel it because the other person is feeling it for themselves.
But
you can't take their happy out of them and put it in yourself.
You were texting me about one day when I was at work. Yeah.
Okay.
We got deep.
So can you dive into that?
Okay, so lately I felt like I was doing that to her. Like all of her happy moments because I suffer from depression and anxiety.
Right.
So I was trying to use her happy moments to make myself happy. Like, oh yeah, she's happy, I'm happy too, yay. Oh, she got this, I'm happy, yay. But it wasn't working.
Right.
I was not feeling anything because it wasn't my stuff that I was filling it with.
Yeah. So basically, what we just talked about, he's saying like, you know, he had to be happy in order to. So like when I'm happy, like he can't base it off of my happiness.
No.
So like for example, put it back in the relationship. My man's happy, but if I'm not happy, I'm really not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
I had to go and find out the things that makes Devin happy.
Yeah,
right.
See, what makes Devin happy?
Now, all right.
And it start taking away, that. Just because those moments made you happy, that just adds to it's joy. It fuels you, right? Because it's your love language that you like to serve others and make people happy. Like you're a people person, right? So that's a beautiful thing, and I'm the same way, right? Like I'm a people pleaser, right? Yeah. And I love to make other people happy, making sure that they're good before I'm good, right? But at the same time, there's a void, right? That you were speaking to. But I lost my train of thought.
No, I don't understand.
Let me say something too. Cause like, you know, I remember the time when you went to Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yo, I'm gonna get on a plane one day. You know what I mean? But I was so happy just in seeing you and believing in you. And and believing in you. That like it brought happiness to me, right? And I wasn't, you know what I mean? And I didn't depend on you for no reason besides just being a genuine person. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I believe, to this day is our commitment to each other. You know, we just be genuine. You know, whether I'm doing me or you doing you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like, I think like. Sometimes we as people, you know what I mean, we strive on happiness instead of responsibility, and I was just happy just being responsible, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like I said, bro, you're young, you know what I mean? Even though you might not believe it, you're young. And like, trust me, I was eating bugs out of cereal when I was your age, you know what I'm saying? And I was just say like, you know, to me, from things she spoke of, you know what I mean? And, you know, just speaking to you or just watching you on the video chat, like, what you talk to my best friend for? You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this dude got a pit bull complex, a moral compass, and I fucks with you, you know what I'm saying? You're a great person and everything. And like, you know, and I feel like me personally, like, you know, and this is bad because I'm single, you know what I mean? But there's still like that moral compass, you know what I'm saying? That yo, you know what, man? I protect those I love, you know what I'm saying? And I see it in you. You know what I mean? Like, I see how you I opened the door, you came in first before you let her in and everything. And I was like, there's no hug here. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I get it. You know what I mean?
I love that. That's beautiful.
We say it like,
that's
my man without being my man.
Yeah.
Like, no, for real. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we literally have all the intimacy without us actually being intimate. You know, he'll pick the.
That's cute. That's good too, because it even allows you, as a woman, he sets a standard, right? Like, this is what I deserve. Like, you open the door for me, and you stand there like, open the door. If you know what I mean. Yes, cater to me.
He came into my life at a good time because I just been through a bad relationship that failed, and it was like, oh my gosh, she wants to, like, I let's sit here and talk to my ex, like, I want to do this talk show. I'm so passionate about this talk show. I've been through all these things in my life. That's what's up, baby. Yeah, that's good. Okay, boom, whatever. I get with my best friend, I'm like, I want to start this talk show. I think it's a good idea, but I don't want to say it because it's like, my ex has already put me down, like, yeah, it's good, but, and I'm telling my best friend, he's like, that's good. And he's like, you can do it. I can see you on TV. I can see you as an actress. Sure, that's good. That's a good feeling. And you're right. You're definitely right. I love that. He set the standard high for the next man that walks into my life because he does a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not in a relationship. We're not, you know what I mean? People accuse us of being in a relationship because of how close we are. But he'll see me working third shift and be like, let me just go pick the kids up for her. He'll turn my alarm off. That's awesome. Like, he'll literally get my phone out of my bed and be like, turn my alarm off and walk and go pick my kids up for me. So I don't wake up and I'm like waking up at 4 o'clock and I hear the kids downstairs and he's making them dinner, and that's a good friendship. And that's just, I feel like in a relationship you need to have a friendship before you can even have a relationship, because you need that. You need that person.
You need that foundation.
Yes.
You need that foundation.
Stability.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're so quick to like rush into
Yeah.
Except building the friendship.
The do. Yeah.
Right, that part.
That's crazy.
I ran out of liquor.
Well, we can continue this, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, as far as y'all family over here, you know.
Yeah.
I know this show is cut short, but where can people find or connect with the two of you?
Take on the
Let's do our thing, right? You can close out with us if you want. Oh, I don't know. I thought we were closing.
Tell them where they can find you on social media.
Drop that out.
Where can they find you on social media?
We're on YouTube. Take On the 717, all one word.
That's it.
That's it.
And y'all can find me on Instagram, on Facebook. I am Zulma Mendez, ZULMA,
Yeah.
And y'all already know Frank Brown.
Yeah, this is the show.
This is the show.
This is the conversation, you know.
Yeah, you're on here right now.
Yeah, that's it. Hi, Mom.
We're here.
Hi, Mom. I see you.
We made it. You see us? You thought we stuff gonna make it? We're here.
We're here.
We're here right now. So my first grade teacher that said I was gonna make it, I'm here. But my first grade teacher
Yo, your first...
Nah, they never said that. I was a good kid.
My first grade teacher...
Told you wasn't gonna be shit.
Told me I wasn't shit.
She ain't shit.
My first grade teacher beat the shit out of me.
What?
You lied.
Like, that's where my trauma started in the womb. But like, that's why, like, it's so hard for me to, like, step out. And those are the areas that I have to, like, continue to surpass, because when I was younger, it was very hard for me to, like, understand things that were supposed to... It was just very hard for me educationally, right? I mean, I struggled.
Yeah.
She used to call me stupid in front of class when I would ask questions. She told me I couldn't ask questions. Real quick. One of the things I experienced, and I have to tell you this whole story. So, back in the day, I was poor. So we was on welfare, so I got free lunch. So we had to, like, I don't know if they do that now in public schools, like for people who have free lunch, you had to at least eat one of the main meals from the free lunch. So they had a teacher's aide in the lunch in the cafeteria, so you had to show them your food, like your tray. And I hated the school's lunches. I used to always give it away. Except, you know what I mean? Except it was like pizza. I was like the only thing I ate. That day was chili with peanut butter and jelly. Hated that one. Yes, it was nasty.
That's nasty.
Right. Trying to give it away to the kids. Nobody wanted it. I go up to the teacher's aide. She was like, you know you got to eat either the chili or the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was like, I don't like it. She's like, I don't care. You have to eat one or the other. So you ever like eat something you don't like and it's like gets stuck on your throat? So that was me, like trying to eat one of like, I think it was the same, like the peanut butter, because I know I hated chili back then. So I went to her again. She was like, what did I tell you? She went and got my teacher. My teacher snatched me up in front of all the kids in the cafeteria, took me out in the hallway, and she said, I'm on my lunch break, and if I'm interrupted again, you're going to pay the price. Okay? First grade. Go back. I'm crying because she's yelling at me, so of course the kids hear it. I'm trying to eat this, and I'm like crying, and I'm trying to eat this sandwich. I couldn't. Go back. You know what I mean? I'm like trying to go back. Teacher's aide goes and gets her. This teacher snatches me up, literally takes me up, starts banging me against this ceramic, like hard ass wall, slamming me against the wall. I told you, if you interrupt me, I mean, literally cussing me out. First grade, the start of my education. Yeah. You know how impactful that shit was?
It is very impactful. And like you said earlier, the words we speak into ourselves, into our children are really important.
So from that point on, I didn't ask questions. And I didn't tell my mom because I thought it was my fault.
Wow. Yeah.
So I always took that responsibility. And I always carried that weight. So through my years, okay? I carried that. But at the same time, I also knew it was a part of me, like, that was driven, right? Back to that 17-year-old person, right? Like, I always knew, like, there was just something in me that I was better than that, right? So I was pushed forward, like, education was just, like, not my thing back in the day, right? But I always, like, pushed myself. You know what I mean? And I became a senior class president, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've always tried to like be involved. I always, was driven, trying to. Yeah. Long story short, because I know we gotta go. I ended up working for the school district a few years back, and at the end of the school year, we always had like this like big thing with teachers and administrators and all this stuff, right? And I had found out that this specific teacher was still there. So. At that point, I was, like I said, I was kind of just still kind of like really just trying to do me, you know what I mean? Like really just focus and pushing myself. I got to meet her. And I approached her.
Did she recognize you?
Once I told her who I was. Yeah. I said, I don't know if you remember me. Wow. I'm not going to mention her name. I said, she was like, oh yeah. I said, I'm not coming to you on a happy note. I'm coming to you to tell you that I forgive you.
Yes.
I forgive you.
Wow.
But I'm not forgiving you. I said, it's more for me. I said, and I prayed to God that was the only student that you ever had that experienced the abuse. Yeah. I said, you impacted my life in such a negative way.
And she was acting like
crying. She was crying. And I was crying. We were there. But at the same time, I needed that. I needed that release. I needed that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's one of the things that I've been through. I'm sure you didn't even know. I don't think I ever shared that with you. That impacted.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It is so important what we speak over our kids. And educators, like, you guys are with our kids more than we are during the school year. Like, it is critical on how you speak to our children. Like, in the example and the impact that you guys are impactful. You know what I mean? Like, to our kids.
Part of that has to do with, like, I know you said you were on welfare and things like that. Do you think something you were like, what's the word? Prejudged because of that? Like, did you see the difference between the other kids and you?
I mean, I was in a school full of white kids.
Yeah.
So I was the only minority, so probably. But I also think it was because I just didn't get the material as quick as that. Like I wasn't the smartest crayon. I wasn't the brightest crayon in the box. I wasn't. I mean, you wouldn't think that now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I had to push. I literally had to like work 10 times harder than the average student to be where I am today.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a woman, as a minority woman, as a person who, you know what I mean, who didn't get things quickly, grasp things quickly educationally. You know what I mean? I had to reread and like really process things or, ask. And I didn't ask questions for years. Yeah. I was scared to ask questions. Yeah. And me being like, and people don't understand, like, I'm a very expressive woman now because I have done the work. I have done what they call that, the, the healing process. Yeah. They call it something else too. I can't remember the wording now. But, I've done the work. That I've done, I've dug deep and, I have forgiven, I have released. And I'm still on that journey of releasing and forgiving. Yeah. There's some deep-rooted shit. You know what I mean? There's some deep-rooted shit that, even though you forgive, it's like forgiveness is it's a daily journey. It's a daily journey with those dark areas in our lives, right? And and I pray to God every day, like, God, just allow me to have a forgiving heart, and I forgive and I release. And I mean, just for New Year's, I went to Virginia by myself. I did a solo trip, and I wrote a letter to my younger self, to my childhood self, to like each era, to my teenage self, to my 20-year-old self, to my 30-year-old self, and then my 40-year-old self.
That'd be really huge.
And I forgave those individuals, right? Yeah. Like I've forgiven, like I'm good. Like I get emotional because I just know, like, not necessarily her, but there's just like other areas in my life that I know that still I need to work on, right? But that's why I got kind of teary-eyed. But I did that releasing for those people, for myself, because I want to be a better person. I want to be a better woman because once again it goes back to how can I be good for anybody else that I'm connected to? How can I be good for my kids? How can I be good for my future husband if I am not good and I am not doing the work? Yes. And that's what I'm at. So I know I was like long-winded, but I just wanted to just share that. You know what I mean?
We definitely needed to hear that.
We needed to hear that, right? We did.
So forgiveness is huge, and once again, in what we speak over our lives, you know what I mean? We talk about curses, right? We talk about, but the words that come out of our mouths
are way more wicked.
Yeah. Than a freaking curse that somebody can put on you, because we can put a curse without even realizing.
Yeah. We're actually going through something right now.
And I want to add something. Me personally, right? I never valued myself until I was in the darkest place. I did 9 years in the federal prison. You know what I'm saying? And I never realized who I was as a person until I was in that place and around some of the most dangerous men in the country, from terrorists to every type of crime you can think of. You know what I'm saying? And listening to them, and just them watching me before they was embracing me. And I just want to, if I could say one thing to you guys, it doesn't matter where you at in life. It matters who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, like, you got a great moral compass, it takes a lot for a man to say, hey, yo, you know what, I see you tired. You know what I mean? No matter what I'm battling, you know what I mean? I see you're tired, and I see, you're doing this, and yo, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? So like, if you don't find happiness in that, you know what I mean? Understand one thing, that there's a blessing in that you're giving to people, you know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta find happiness in blessing people, and I look at y'all generation, and me personally, I feel nothing but the need to apologize because there was people in my generation.
Excuse me.
Bless you. That kept me on track. You know what I mean? I was you know, I was a terror out here, you know what I mean? But they always seen something good, and they always seen something good. But I never seen nothing good in myself until I went to a federal prison. So it doesn't matter.
That's deep. That's deep. It took you going to a federal prison to see something in yourself. Yeah. Why does it have to come to that?
Yeah.
You know, why can't there be people there? Like, you know.
Sometimes you don't accept it.
But I'm saying, sometimes we don't want to hear it though. Sometimes we're so hard-headed that it has to take that literally like being flat on your face, eating the ground of this earth, being homeless with a newborn child, like, you know what I mean? Being in a federal prison to have that wake-up call to say, like, what in the world, like, you are better than this, right? Like, this is not you, like, and really just understanding who you are and just really
and embrace that help.
And embrace that.
Because, like, yo, even when I first got locked up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My role model in the streets, you know what I mean? In this specific town, you know what I mean? When I first got into a federal prison, died 2 days later. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, and like, you know, he was one of the richest people that ever walked the city. You know what I mean? That in this county, you know. And just no matter what, keep your moral compass. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I said, this lady right here, she, you know what I mean, no matter where I was at in life, she's like, yo, you know what? Even though I wasn't right, I understood. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not to say I was wild, but like, you know, I was battling my demons, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not one to tell people, you know, hey, use your hate to move forward, but like, you know, because sometimes it's not about going forward. People always try to move forward, because they always see the forward step. But sometimes the universe or God or whatever you choose to believe in is putting you in a spot for you to truly understand why you're there. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Put you in a spot to understand why you are there, and you're not supposed to level up or whatever. It took time for me to even say, hey, can I treat you to dinner? You know what I'm saying? To this lady, you know what I mean? I took time. She was like, say, hey, yo, can I treat you to dinner? Can I treat you to drink? Just to say, I'm thankful for you to be in my life, because, you know, not even having a job, but for somebody to say, hey, yo, you're special. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, I you know, just even hearing a conversation and talking and say, hey, I don't think you said, you know, you loved yourself 5 times today. You might have said it once, but you know what I mean? And that was the type of person she was in my corner, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but I definitely want to, so we're going to close this out on a great note. And we're going to get to, I'm pretty sure we're going to see you guys again. Many more times, you know what I mean?
Devin.
Hi, John and Devin. Take on 717. Check us out. Take on 717.
Take it on.
All one word. Take on the 717 on YouTube.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I am Gina Mendez. Check me out as well.
Yeah, check her out, guys.
Yes. And we are
One and only.
Yes,
so we got places to go.
I'm sorry, I know. I got my kids. They gotta go with their dad. Is this the bathroom? I gotta pee real quick. I gotta pee too. I'm sitting there like, I gotta pee.
Go check out the attic. Go check out the attic.
This door?
No. You wanna let them know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So they tryna be my main thing. My heart is full of shit to let it go. We did love it, shit ain't day. Like me, yeah, that's a go. But I'm in that kind of pressure. Fuck the doctor, I need medical. Now got me stuck like a vegetable. Pop the briefy for the opposition.